Joining us now is faith-based author Anthony Marrone. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. We've gotten to know each other over the last several months. So exciting to celebrate you and your journey. Anthony, how did this story begin for you? How did you become an author?
Happened about 25 years ago.
Okay.
I was searching a very successful businessman, CPA, and I had a spiritual journey, getting in the spiritual direction. And my spiritual director, who happens to be a priest, left me. So I said, well, what do I do now? He says, well, why don't you start journalizing? And I started journalizing, and I threw up, the subject was, why would a good God allow bad things to happen to innocent young children? So I just threw it out. And then I started working, and it was my audit season, tax season, which I worked, all day, like you. and at midnight I would be writing and getting up at 6 in the morning, and I got an answer. I threw it out to God, and I got an inspired message back.
Wow.
So when people read my book, I wrote it for my journey. And then people started reading it, and they said, wow, this is fantastic. So I put it into a national competition in the children's category. This is the book.
That's your first book?
This is my first book.
25 years ago, you said?
25 years ago.
Okay, and that's
Born Under a Lucky Star.
Born Under a Lucky Star. Okay.
So I put it into the competition in the children's category, and I get word that I won on the overall. They put me into the overall. But it came in second place. I called the editor of the publishing house, and she says, we did you a favor by putting you second because this is such a terrific book that we can't publish books like this. This is not our backbone type of book. So with that, I self-published the book, and
it started through journaling. You were just like journaling, and then all of a sudden this inspiration came.
It's just amazing,
right?
Because what happens here is my second book, called The Vanity Mirror. I write chapters, one chapter after another. I have no outline like normal authors.
Okay.
I kind of do it against the grain, and it just comes through me. It's kind of like the artist that works on an empty canvas, and it just comes through me. And it's amazing. So this book I wrote about, this book I started out with, girls that are not eating enough, And
like an eating disorder of some sort.
Yeah, and all my books are kind of illustrated, which the illustrator kind of reads the book, and then they put the character in a certain light that I don't even see. So I wrote this book, and the tricky thing about this book became a service book.
Okay.
And this book became a forgiveness book.
Beautiful.
And these are excellent books for those that are trying just to sit back and understand, what's going on in life sometimes, where life just kicks you in the pants and you just don't know what it is. Both books are perspective books. It's about perspective. How you look at a bad event and how actually it could be a good event. Both of these books brought me to a new level, and after I wrote these books in my practice, in my CPA practice, which is tax, auditing, reimbursement, and healthcare, I changed. These books helped me to change, and then everything really changed when the pandemic came about, and I had to shelter in place, and then I wrote my new series of books called The Uninvited Guest.
Interesting. Now, a lot of times, Anthony, they say that we're like left brain or right brain, right? So the fact that you had the CPA and then this creative side, you must just feel so integrated right now, right? You're kind of like balanced?
The creative side was always there.
Okay.
So I did auditing, which is pretty much just validation. Is it there? And then I had these other side of my practice was I did a lot of operational studies. Nursing home wasn't making money. One was on one side of the street. I had both accounts. One was on one side of the street. The other one was on the other side of the street. One made $1 million. One lost $1 million.
Okay,
So
so
I,
you analytically were able to like
I
make
went
sense of
in.
that.
So then the auditing part of me was one thing, but the creative part was another. That's
Okay.
what gets me going.
Got it.
That is my pulse. So the writing today is my, I don't know, it's
Your passion,
my
maybe?
passion.
Okay.
The passion of taking what I have inspirationally and put it on a piece of paper.
And that's where this one was born. So 25 years ago, you did this author thing, and you said the first book is about service. Is that to help people find like the gift of giving to others? Is
The
that what you
first
meant by
book
that?
is about a kid of like 9 years old in a
Okay.
wheelchair who doesn't belong. It's kind of like the Brene Brown type of book where, he's looking at everybody and everybody fits and he doesn't fit. He's on the side where everybody's in the middle. It's very much like the book Wonder by R.J. Policio.
Okay.
Okay? The second book is a perspective book, and it's kind of like the book The Noticer. If you read a book like The Noticer by Andy Andrews, it has a lot of that because there's perspective. Is this right or is this wrong? Based upon how you're brought up, it might be yes, and it might be wrong. It doesn't take positions, it just questions.
Okay.
That's my
a
books.
pondering book. A pondering
It's
book.
not telling,
Okay.
it's just suggesting there might be another side of the story.
Got it. Now, speaking of story, that brings us to the latest, right? Tell us about this, which I know that this book is beautifully illustrated by Rizzulli,
Yeah.
correct? Okay, so let's
Yeah.
tell us about this collaboration.
Okay, so as far as this book goes, I retired and I was sheltering in place. And then the end of these two books are the basis of this whole series.
Okay, so it
All
connects.
all
There's a bridge.
all the characters in these two books are 25 years older.
Got it.
All right? And what happens is we're in a pandemic. It's March of 2020. And we're in a pandemic, and all these characters are 25 years older. We catch up with them. And a baby was born in the end of this book. And now she's 25 years old.
Interesting. So you pick up with that baby story.
Yes.
Okay.
And this baby is special. This baby is from God. Very much like the book The Shack,
Okay.
where we introduce characters from God coming to life. This is that type of story.
Wow.
And there's a birth, and Emmanuel is in the desert of Las Vegas preaching love, light, kindness. She's not interested in commandments. She's interested in beatitudes, attitudes, how we conduct ourselves with love, light, and kindness, and no rules except you can't hurt.
Understood. So cause no harm to others. And that's what this series is about.
Yeah.
So which book do they order first? Like what order for this new series?
The Passion,
Yes?
Born on the Lucky Star,
Okay.
is a beautiful book about a young person. There's angels in my book.
Lovely. Because you
Okay.
know I like angels.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're together, I think,
Right.
because you and I are together because of that. There's grandpas, there's moms, there's a sick girl with cancer. They're at an emergency room. It's Christmas. This is all about Christmas.
Got it.
It's a story. It's a Christmas story.
So you suggest order the original book first and then order Vanity Mirror. Like do them in the order that you wrote them.
Yes.
So you're going to take them on a literary journey.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful. So they can go to Amazon, they can order your books. They can also go to your website and just kind of look and learn a little bit more about your journey.
Yes.
I find you just so inspirational too, Anthony. You are just a really great person. You're doing a lot. I know that you also give back to the community. You give back to charity, right? So on your website, they'd also be able to find right now what you're working with is a group called WIN, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why in heaven's name?
Why in heaven's name? And they can go to the website and learn so much more about it.
The last thing is because the material is so inspirational, I set up this not-for-profit, and all the profits from all these books go into the not-for-profit. The primary concern here that I have is suicide in our community. So we're basically putting that money directed at that, but we're also a pass-through entity where we can send money anywhere we would like to.
Helping those that need it the most.
There's a lot of people that are in need. So basically, I am a giver, unconditional giver. Just give, just like God does.
And I see that's what happened. So you were inspired to write these books, and through these books, the greater good for all. So
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you, Anthony Marrone, for
Thank
being
you.
here. And to our audience, pick up these books, right? Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
If you're inspired by this story, because I'm certainly inspired by Anthony's journey, please check out these books and make a difference in our community and your community and the greater good for all the world. Be well.